Hello again, everyone. Now I would like to talk with you a little bit about AB 2022 and also go on to talk about NAMI's Ending the Silence. I'm going to read part of this for you because I want to be explicit in terms of what AB 2022 says. AB stands for Assembly Bill. So California Assembly Bill 2022. So what it does is it starts out by saying existing law requires the governing board of any school district to give diligent care to the health and physical development of pupils and authorizes the governing board of a school district to employ properly certified persons for the work. Then it goes on to talk about the Mental Health Services Act, which is funding that's set aside specifically for mental health. I'm not going to read through that. That gets a little bit boring. There's a paragraph here and you can read through it on your own. Then it goes down to say the California Constitution requires the state to reimburse local agencies and school districts for certain costs mandated by the state. Statutory provisions establish procedures for making that reimbursement. So that money can be used to reimburse the school districts for what they're mandated to do under AB 2022. So let's go a little bit further and let's look at what AB 2022 says that the school district must do. It says, Section 1, Section 49428 is addition to the Education Code and reads, Paragraph A school of a school district or county office of education and a charter school shall notify pupils and parents or guardians of pupils no less than twice during the school year on how to initiate access to available pupil mental health services on campus or in the community, or both, as follows. Then it goes on to say a school shall use at least 2 of the following methods to notify parents or guardians. And then it goes on to explain what is necessary. Now this is only 2 pages long. It's an easy read to go through it. I'm not going to read through it here and bore you with all the details in it, but the point is that the schools are expected to notify both parents and students at least twice a year of available mental health resources available to them either on campus or in the local community. So that is an important thing, I think, especially right now with COVID-19. There's a lot of stress going on and that sort of thing, so this is good. Now here's where I see this falling down a little bit, but not a whole lot. There is no penalty for the school districts or these schools when they don't comply with this AB 2022. So, if there's no penalty, how do you get them to do it? The way you get them to do it is to go in and advocate for this. There is no excuse for the schools not to do this because it's covered by AB 2022 funding. So the schools don't have to take anything out of their budget to do this. All they need to do is go in compliance with this and make sure their behavioral health services unit in their county is on their budget and that they got it on there. Now I've been really struggling with Alameda County to make sure that AB 2022 is in the Mental Health Services Act budget. Now I haven't actually seen the numbers yet, but they need to be there. Whether or not they're there currently or not, they need to be added if they aren't. So that is one thing. There's no excuse from a financial standpoint why the schools can't do this or shouldn't do this. Again, though, the problem is there's no penalty if they don't do it. So how do we get them to do it? Again, it's up to you to do it. So that's one thing. Now, the other thing is the NAMI Ending the Silence. A little bit about my own story. My daughter had her significant break when she was 22 years old, just getting ready to graduate from UC Santa Barbara. she had a significant break, and then it was years before she was able to stabilize herself and get back on the road. She's doing very well now, thank you. However, along the way in our discussions, she said that she was always depressed all the way through school. She just thought it was normal that everybody was depressed. So, with that mindset, with AB 2022, if we do this in the school and let people know that these services are available to them, and the student doesn't realize that there's a problem, they're not going to take advantage of AB 2022's resources. So my thought is the way to do that is to go into the schools with the Ending the Silence, inform the students of the symptoms they should be looking at or considering, and if so, seek professional help, because we're not professionals. We all know that. But now, understanding what the symptoms to look for, or these symptoms are associated possibly with a mental health condition, now they have the information to move forward. But not only the students, the parents as well. And I know I was in denial when my daughter had her break, so I know that there's a problem there. At least there was a problem for me. So we need to inform the parents as well, so that they can monitor their student, their child, to make sure that they are getting the services they need if they need them. So my take on this is we need to get AB 2022 into the school system so they're doing their job, and that we can get Ending the Silence into the school system as well, so that we can support our students and our parents and the school system for that matter, and informing them of these symptoms so that everybody can get the help that they need before things get out of control, if they're not already out of control. So I'm sure that some of you have been there, I've been there, and a lot of people at this conference have been there. So let's help people get control early on. And while this is going on, we can also recommend the Boldly Me program to those who, as one of the outreaches, that there is programs in the community. So if you have Boldly Me in your community, not only do you have it in your community, I think you can get it online. You have to talk with Alana about that. But nonetheless, it can be made available to you, at least online now. All these programs, our programs now are being done virtually, and we're really being able to reach out further than we've ever been before. It's unfortunate that COVID-19 has got us to this situation, but there are some advantages to this in terms of what we're able to do in an outreach in a virtual environment, just like the virtual environment we're in today. So with that, I'm going to bring back Alana and Dr. Silberman for a Q&A session with all three of us. So here we go. Bring in your questions. They're important for us to answer for you.